There are 5 tools here for friendship to work. There are 5 tools. Are you there? The first tool is vision. That's the first tool, vision. If there is no vision, people perish. Vision is what brings people together, and vision is what can keep people together. If I have a big vision and you don't have a big vision, it will be a challenge for us to keep pace. Vision is what brings, that's why before you make friends, always want to know what's the vision of this person. Vision is what will decide how long we will travel. I'm going to use vision in the example of a car, right? Let's say, Njambi, sorry, I had not even thought about it. Now you've given me an example. So Njambi Kuria uses a car called Lola. It's a, what's the name of your car? Nissan Latio. I use a Land Cruiser. My car is 4,200 cc. Your car is 1,500 cc. Now we can't keep up. It's just obvious. We tried to compete. I've seen Henry has joined. Thank you so much, Henry. We tried to compete with Henry. Henry is the best driver in the world. I can tell you confidently. But I defeated Henry powerfully twice in one day. He could not even sleep. Twice. I'm sure even that's the reason why he's not here today. He's recovering from trauma. Henry is the best. Henry is the only person who can drive at 160. And I can say it's like there's no pressure. He's that bad. You know? But I defeated him just because of Lola. The car that Njambikuria owns. Now, that analogy is the same as vision. The capacity of your vision will determine how long the friendship will go. Vision. There must be clear vision alignment. It's a tool in friendship. Vision is very important. Listen, that's why these 3 things are very important. Identity, purpose, and then vision. Those 3 things are very important. Which takes me to my second tool, identity. Identity will help you to carry flavor. Everyone type the word flavor. Type that word. Those who are here, you can say it like 3 times. Flavor, flavor, flavor. You see the way we are here? Everyone is different flavors. I'll liken it to yogurt. Some of you are vanilla. Some of you are strawberry. Every person carries a special flavor that they bring. Now, if you don't know your flavor, you can't bring it on the table. You must be very clear. That's why identity is important. So while vision is good, identity is the most important. You must know what flavor you bring. For example, as Benny, I am funny and I'm a good storyteller. So I know that it's not like if you compliment me today, I'll not say, oh my God, am I a good storyteller? I know from childhood, I've been a good storyteller. I tell good stories. That's why you're here till now. Because I'm just interesting. I'm not boring. I'm interesting. I know that. It's a flavor. I don't struggle with humor. I am funny effortlessly. Every girl I've dated, they can say anything about me. But there's one thing they'll never say. They'll never say I'm boring. They'll say he's very interesting. One day, I just took a girl on a date. Yeah? First date in Form 2. I told her stories. We sat on. Now, we went for swimming. Then I had 200 shillings. I wanted to buy her chips after the swimming. Now to wrap up the whole thing, right? Then when I went to the changing room after swimming, the money had been stolen. But I said, it's okay. This is what works here. I took her for a walk. I told her 5 powerful stories. I told her stories about movies. We sat on the grass. I hugged her. And I assured her that we will change the world together. By the time I was done, she was in tears. She had forgotten about the chips. Took her home. So I have studied my life and I've known stories have worked for me. In a funky, I was with a girl called Martha Nyager. Yeah? I just stood with her on a tire. You see the tire of the bus? We just stood there and we began talking. I told her stories upon stories. And she listened to me for 3 concrete hours. She was supposed to go and perform. She ended up forgetting for the music festival. I impacted her so much that girl came to Nairobi. during the school holiday just to come and see me. Stories. Stories work. I'm telling you. Ask anyone here that I have dated. I know one or two of my exes have sneaked here to see if I'll mention them. They will tell you and they will acknowledge you. Of course, they will not, but wherever you are, may the fire of God force you to acknowledge. They will tell you that I'm very interesting. You understand? Flavor. Flavor comes from identity. Yes, if you don't know your identity accurately, you'll not know the flavor you carry. For example, here in my team, there's a guy called Teddy. Teddy just carries a special flavor. He'll post you every day, even things that don't make sense. On a random Monday, I just find he has posted me in a picture where in an airport, and he has posted that same picture 6 times. That's a flavor. He knows how to celebrate people. Or he'll just get a video from YouTube and cut it, and then he'll post when I'm speaking. That's a flavor. There's a lady called Joy Maria. Joy Maria carries a special flavor. She talks slowly. You can even slap her on the phone. She just called me, now, Benny, I was saying, she will text me in the morning, good morning, super orator. How are you doing? You are a king, a beacon of inspiration to Africa. Very many words. I don't even respond. You think she'll get tired? The next day, she'll now wake up with, she carries a special flavor. You will miss Joy whether you like it or not. Every person carries flavor. Charles, I think if you are flavor, you will be charcoal flavor. Flavor. Am I making sense? You know, this thing is not even a joke. You must know the flavor you're bringing. Now, let me say this. Let me say this. Depression kills flavor. Let me repeat. Depression kills flavor. Depression does what? Anyone who goes through depression, their flavor will be killed. Anyone who goes through depression, their flavor will be killed. Anyone who goes through depression, their flavor will be killed. Anyone who goes through depression, their flavor will be killed. Their flavor will be killed. Depression makes you feel worthless and it's like you have nothing to offer. So you begin to look for money to buy what money cannot buy. There are things that money is not supposed to buy. They're supposed to be so natural. There are things still today I don't even buy. Just because I have a good flavor. So identity. Identity is very important. How many tools have I said? Vision, identity. Let me go to number 3, flavor. Style. Style is very important. Again, style flows from identity, but allow me to separate them. So, there are many factors that decide whether someone will be a friend. Part of them is dressing. Dressing and your style. That's why you hear me telling Momo, she's just friends with Njambi because of an iPhone. It's true. Those are small things that can decide whether you'll be friends with someone because they're called conversation starters. There are people I have attracted in my life over time as friends because I adjusted. Because the Bible says deep calls unto deep. There are friends you'll never attract if your house looks a certain way. It's just simple as that. There are friends you'll never attract if you only go to church and then you go back home. Number one, you'll never even meet them. And number two, there's nothing to talk about. Your life must have color. You must have something called the color of life. There are things you need to be doing that can also bring certain people in your circle. Jesus used to fish. That was his hobby. That style. Jesus had a sense of fashion, robes. His robe was so expensive that they had to divide it into pieces. Jesus had style. He was a cool guy. He said he wants a donkey that no one has ridden. That's style. We've presented Jesus as a boy who is very dusty, he's just with white robes. The man had style. He knew how to move. That's why he had friends who are also a certain way. He had a cocktail of different people. Style is very important. So one of the things you need to work on intentionally is your dressing, how you look, how you talk. There are people who, even if they want to associate with you, and this also is in public speaking. Can you understand what I'm saying? There's a day I went to a school called Emerald International School, and I couldn't relate with those kids just because I did not know how to relate with them. The chocolates they were talking about, I did not know about those chocolates. The snacks they were talking about, the countries they have visited. At that time, the country I had visited was Mozambique. Kids are talking about Maldives and Russia, Denmark. What will you contribute in that conversation? Exposure contributes in terms of friendship. That's why you must pray that God will bring you wealth. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Yeah. Exposure contributes a lot in terms of friendship. There's a caliber of people you'll never meet if you have low levels of exposure. That's why the only person who would preach to in Rome was Paul. That's why Paul said, to Gentiles I became a Gentile, to Jews I became a Jew, to everyone I became everything. Now I feel like the Holy Spirit is now here. So be very sensitive. He has been here, but the presence has just intensified. So there's a level of exposure that will determine who you meet. The devil, one of the things he'll fight is exposure. Now listen to me keenly. If there's one thing that the devil will fight you is passport. It's not about the passport. It's not about the passport. It's about what exposure will do to you as a person. Because there are three things that determine whether you'll be whether there are three C's that determine whether you'll be friends with someone. One is communication. Two is capacity. Then number three is communication, your capacity, and communication is about conversations. And then number three is your confidence levels to approach people, to engage people. But what amplifies relationships is conversations. Now, conversations must have a subject. Now, if you have low levels of exposure, you have nothing to talk about, and that will affect friendship by itself. Am I making sense? So one of the things you must work on is your level of exposure, because your level of exposure will determine conversations. There's a reason why Jesus could not work with idle men. He worked with fishermen. Fishermen had an exposure of selecting and fishing people, because the work they were entering was soul winning. He needed men who already have a background, men who are onto something. Jesus did not pick idle men. Either you're a tax collector, either you're a doctor, or either you're a fisherman. He needed men who are already busy. He did not want to introduce busyness to you. He wanted you to already have busyness as an orientation. Am I making sense? Yeah. So there's a level which communication comes because of conversations. Conversations comes because of your level of exposure. So if you only sit in the house, to some degree it will affect you. That you're always just at home, you don't do anything else, you've not traveled a whole year, it will affect you because there are people who you'll not, it will be hard to have a conversation. There are people, even if I want to be their friend, me and them can't talk so much for more than an hour, and I'll struggle in the process. There are people I talk to effortlessly because it's not, we don't struggle, it's just natural, because we can talk about different things. I can hang out with this person for like 16 hours and we'll not get tired of each other, because in one way or the other. Okay, let me tell you a story. Kevin Hart, one of the stories Kevin Hart gave is that one of these reasons why his first marriage failed is because Kevin Hart used to go to Hollywood, what is it called? Beverly Hills? Yes, Beverly Hills. So he could go for events, awards, blah, blah, blah. The wife to Kevin Hart was a housewife. So when he comes back home, Kevin Hart has met presidents, he's on a red carpet, many things have happened. The wife has been in the house a whole day, taking care of kids. So they had nothing to talk about. So by the time now Kevin Hart went to Hollywood, he could meet now women who are extremely cool. They have a lot to talk about. The way things are, blah, blah, blah. That's how him and the wife fell apart, because of conversations. So I like saying this, that I like friends who are in different worlds and they're also dynamic, so that it's easy for me and them. By the time we're meeting, they're able to teach me something from their world. I'm able to teach them something from my world. It will build friendship rather than just being in a rigid world. It makes you lack whatever. For example, this year, have you gone for any event outside I speak? You get that to some degree says a lot. You see, have you gone for any photo shoot? Have you done any activities? So that will make our friendship spicy because dynamism is a spice of life. Diversity is a spice of life. So if we're in different spaces, different environments, and we meet every time, it makes you and I talk. It builds up friendship. But if you're all in the same world every single day, it means that you're not giving me any different perspective apart from what I've seen. That's why I encourage people, especially now, like those of you who are working with me and we're also friends, be in different worlds. Tomorrow is Sunday. After missions, go see your family. You'll come and tell me a story that's different. On Monday, we were taking a break. Go hang out with your friend. Go have coffee. By the time you come to my world, you'll impact me. Because like you see today, I was with my daughter. I've hung out with like 6 kids. So there's a way I see life. Then I was in KICC in our ship experience. Then I've gone to the barber shop. Then I was with Momo in a parking, Java. How many things have happened to you today, Momo? Just today only. So many things. You've not even realized I bought Momo a watch. We were just passing somewhere randomly. Told him, let's go here. Asked, give me a watch that has a leather strap. Got him a watch. So I'm in different worlds. So can you imagine, like today only I've been like 6 worlds. I took a walk in the estate, met the investor, talked, had a conversation. In the morning we had a meeting here, met Joy Maria. Tomorrow I'm in Kirinyaga University. Monday, lockdown. Tuesday, different environments. Next week I'm in like 6 events. So by the time I'm meeting you as a friend, my worlds are like 25. Your world is 1. You've just been in the room. What will it do? I will outgrow you. You'll feel it will be redundant. It will kill something in you. Am I making sense? Ladies and gentlemen, I am done.